Okay, Bruchim Habaim, I want to share something with you, a very powerful, thought-provoking idea. We know throughout Tanakh, Torah is compared to many things, but an item of significance that Torah is compared to is honey. David HaMelech says about the Torah, Umesuke midvash, it's sweeter than honey. Shlomo HaMelech says, Devash v'chalav tachas l'shonech, the Torah is dripping with honey and milk. Why is it, of all things, that the Torah is compared to honey? Well, I want to share with you an insight from the Chafetz Chaim. The Chafetz Chaim, of course, wrote the seminal work on halacha, the Mishnah Berurah. The Chazon Ish says about the Mishnah Berurah that every word of the Mishnah Berurah is like emanating from the Lishkas Hagazos, the chamber of hewn stone in the Beis Hamikdash. The Mishnah Berurah is the Posek Achron, the final decisor of halacha for our times. But we know the Chafetz Chaim was always thinking and always concerned, when's Mashiach going to come? And when Mashiach comes, are we going to know the halachos? Are we going to know how to conduct ourselves in the Beis HaMikdash? Are the Kohanim going to know how to do the avodah in the Beis HaMikdash? And the Chafetz Chaim, being a Kohen himself, was particularly concerned for this. And the Chafetz Chaim, aside from writing Mishnah Berurah, also wrote a sefer, Likutei Halachos, which is a collection of all relevant halachos which are needed to know in the running of the Beis HaMikdash. And let me share with you what the Chafetz Chaim writes in his introduction to the Sefer Likutei Halachos. Says the Chafetz Chaim, do you know why Torah is compared to honey? He says, honey is so sweet. Honey has such a powerful force of sweetness to the point where, scientifically, if bread would fall into honey, honey is a power, is a dissolvent. It would dissolve the bread and the bread would disintegrate and ultimately disappear. Says the Chafetz Chaim, it is a fact. The bread would actually turn into honey. Now listen to this. It's an amazing thing. Says the Chafetz Chaim, not only is it a scientific phenomenon, but even most poskim agree that if a devar iser, if a prohibited item would fall into the honey, let's say, for example, a piece of pig fell into the honey. A piece of pig, yeah. If it fell into the honey, says the Chafetz Chaim, the sweetness of the honey would act upon that piece of pig. It would disintegrate and dissolve the piece of pig. The piece of pig would turn into honey. Halacha lamasa, you could eat it. Say, really? Really? It's a good trivia question. When could a Jew eat a piece of pig? When it falls into honey. That's the power of honey. Honey looks like an innocuous agent. No, it's very powerful. It's the most powerful substance in nature. It could transform even a piece of meat into honey. Well, says the Chafetz Chaim, that is exactly what David HaMelech means when he says about the Torah, it's mesukim midvash, it's sweeter than honey. Torah is so sweet. Torah is so powerful that if a person is diligent and consistent in studying Torah, if a person immerses themselves in the Torah and commits himself to learn Torah, then you can have a man or a woman who started off rotten, arrogant, jealous, envious, stingy, with every bad character in the world, every bad midah in the world, like a chazir. If they fall into the Torah, if they immerse themselves into the Torah's sweetness is so powerful that it could transform even the most rotten person, the most rotten Jew, into mesukim midvash, into someone sweeter than honey. This is the power of the Torah. Says the Chafetz Chaim, Im adam shoked ala Torah, if a person is diligent in his learning, umizdabek ba karoi, and clings to the Torah properly, afilu im teva nafshay hoya metchila ramaod, even if by nature his character is very evil, Koyach HaTorah metaharasai, the power of the Torah will purify him. Umakdashtoi, and will sanctify him. V'nahafoch lios ish acher mamish. He'll become a completely different person. Sometimes you see somebody that you remember from his youth, and you see them after they've become involved in Torah, and you say, what happened to you? Did you flip? No, he didn't flip. He fell into honey. He was influenced by the sweetness of the Torah. Says the Chafetz Chaim, it says in Perkei Avos about Torah, Umachshartoi liyos tzadik, chassid, yashar, v'ne'aman. Literally, the Torah prepares a person to be a tzaddik. But says the Chafetz Chaim, it could also mean umachshartai. It kashers a person. Like a fork. Let's say you have a milchik fork chalavi, and you stick it into a piece of hot chicken. Oh no! The fork is treif. You need to kasher the fork. So you throw it into a pot of boiling water, and you kasher, hagalah. You kasher the fork. Well, it's the same thing with an Adam, with a Jew. Sometimes you can have a person, and we all know about ourselves, sometimes because of the influence of society, because of the Yetzer Hara, we become a little treif. What do? The easiest way to kasher oneself is to immerse oneself in the honey of Torah, in the dvash of Torah. Torah is so powerful that even us, when we're influenced by the immodesty and immorality of society and the stinginess of society and all of the evil influences of the environment that we live in, all of this influences us greatly. How do we kasher ourselves? How do we purify ourselves? We immerse ourselves into the Torah, which is mesukim midvash. We immerse ourselves in the Torah, which is devash v'chalav tachas lashonich. And then the sweet agent of Torah acts upon us and transforms us into ish acher, transforms us, and is machshartoi, it kashers us to become a tzaddik, a yashar, ne'eman. May Hashem give us all the siyata d'shmaya to dedicate ourselves to Torah, and we'll all be zocheh to the blessings of Torah. Orach yamim b'yamina usmola osher b'chavod. Hashem oza amo yitein. Hashem yivarech es amo v'ashalom.